Can I grow my investments or business without growing myself?
Moving forward with the Decker team. Moving forward together with the Decker team.
Welcome and hello to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Decker.
I'm Ken Decker.
And we're with Sean and Roz Woodland again because by popular demand, they were requested to come back because their wealth of wisdom is something that we all need and we actually all deserve. And so we're grateful that we get to do this with them and with you. Okay, so here's the answer.
Can I do it? Can I grow my investments without growing myself?
Not and keep harmony.
Ooh.
You can do
harmony,
it.
That's an interesting word. I like 4-part harmony, 2-part harmony. What kind of harmony are we talking about?
Harmony where you don't throw your life out of whack in one area for the sake of just building, say, money in this case.
That's a great
explanation. The only way we need to invest in ourselves if we're going to create and keep harmony as we're building our wealth account.
Okay, so
is that fair?
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what you're going to learn in this episode is what are the next life steps that you can take to revitalize your life. That sounds exciting.
It really does. So Sean and Roz, you've been on this journey because your life has been revitalized. Yeah, if you're not watching this episode, if you're listening on CHRI on 99.1 FM, and if you haven't listened there, you might want to listen there. We're on every Friday morning at 9:30 a.m. for a 30-minute episode, an entire episode. And if you're listening on YouTube or any of the other social channels where you will find Life's Inside Track, they're 10-minute or 9-minute segments. And so if you can't see us and you want to see some more zaniness and cuteness, then you could certainly tune into the Double Decker Life channel on YouTube for this particular episode.
And sparkle today.
And sparkle.
And sparkly.
And sparkle. And the sparkle kind of is interesting because a previous episode we did was about not all things that are shiny are actually really good. So, but today, all things that are sparkly are really awesome because we both managed to wear sparkles without even communicating.
So in you, we talked about in the previous show your relationship and how that relationship affected your ideas on money and investing and your background and that kind of stuff. But now, what first life steps did you take as a couple and individually when you got together? Not so much on investing, but on improving your vitality, your life.
So that you would have harmony when you invested.
Well, let me share this with you. So as I had mentioned, Sean had read the Wealth Formula first and he was on fire for it and trying to get me to read it. And I'm like, yeah, I'll get around to it.
And I even had you on an episode where you hadn't yet read it.
I know.
And I was like,
behind me. And I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll come back after I read the book.
and now I borrowed one of yours and it's all the pages are tagged where all the important things are with little Post-it notes.
I had a little shift, a little pivot. But when we were driving into Ottawa to go to our 9 to 5, we would use it as our mobile university. And Sean got the compound effect. That's Darren Hardy, right? Yeah. So we were listening to it. And again, I was a bit resistant to the teaching, if you can imagine me being resistant to anything. And it was a CD. And every time I would start the car, the same sentence would play over and over and over again every time I started the car before I turned it off, right? So, and he would say, until you're willing to take 100% accountability for every decision you make, your life will not change. And I must have heard that, I swear, 100 times before I turned it off. But when that finally sunk in after 100 times, I was like, oh my gosh, that's absolutely right. I have to be 100% accountable for every decision that I make. So that's how much time there is a day. Do I have time? I don't have time for this. Well, we all have the same amount of time. I'm going to make time.
440 minutes a day.
Yeah. So that so that's one of those things that people say, I don't have time. I don't have time to learn anything. I don't have time to. It's like, you make the time. It's important, right? You want things to change. You got to make the time.
So your first thing was to start learning when you were driving.
Yeah.
Because obviously you were always a learner.
Yes.
Sean, were you always a learner?
No, not really.
You weren't that A student?
I could tell you if you put a movie on, I was a movie guy. If you put it on within like 10 seconds, I could tell you what movie it was.
Yeah.
So I was learning scripts but nothing useful.
Yeah.
You had all the one-liners from every movie ever made.
Yes.
And so
Sadly.
one of your first steps, by the sounds of it, was you started to listen to things that were good for your mind.
Yeah. I would listen to stuff on the way to work with Roz and start reading. I work in a place where I have an opportunity to read now. And
Okay, you got to say where you work.
I work for the Ottawa Public Library. So lots of opportunities.
So you could even get audiobooks on CD for, like, borrow them, right?
Yeah.
All
I was
the
going to say
time.
for free, but you
Well,
borrow them.
we
It's
borrow
kinda
them,
free.
and
You
I
got to
go-
give them back, though.
Yes.
You do. And I listen to those all the time too. Like the library is a great resource for anything you want to learn.
Right. So even if you don't have the financial resources, the Ottawa Library is there for you,
That's right.
Yeah.
or whatever library is nearest to you.
Yeah.
So what were some of those other learnings that you did? That was the first step, was to start to listen and change from movies.
To podcasts and books on CD, and sometimes just social media, reading through people who inspire me. I'll go through their posts and read those as well.
So you follow some people.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And Roz, who's one of your favorite speakers?
Brene Brown. Oh, I love Brene.
I had a girl crush on Brene Brown for a while, and I watched everything I could find on the internet for a whole weekend. Do you remember that weekend, Shadow? I watched podcasts and TED Talks and anything that had her name in it. I was watching it for a whole weekend.
Yeah. Well, I work in research at Carleton University, and because she's an academic and everything that she does stems out of her research, she fascinates me with the way that she can mobilize that knowledge in a meaningful way for people.
Yeah, when she recorded her first video, I thought she said she thought nobody would see it, and then it had like 4 million views.
Yeah. Love that.
Yeah, and so there's TED Talks. What's the other one you said that you really enjoy?
I really enjoy Goalcast because it's very inspiring. I love that. TED Talks, again, because they sometimes have that more sciencey, researchy side behind them, because I'm a natural skeptic. I really enjoy the scientific research behind.
So what's a Goalcast? Some people may have never heard of it.
Oh, Goalcast videos are inspirational videos of lived experiences that change people's lives. Right?
So it's really the story of someone's life changed through something.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like this. This could be a
Kind of
Goalcast.
like this could be a Goalcast. Yeah. Well, I hope we get 4 million views. That'd be great.
I don't know. We'll have to ask the producer if he's got 4 million listeners on CHRI.
Okay, well,
Probably not yet. You know, they are on the web too, right?
That's
You
right.
can stream it, so it doesn't just have to be Ottawa. Yeah, we often live our lives thinking of, I want to have and do, and then I'll be something. But truly, the order is wrong. You can't have something. You have to be something, do things out of that being, and then you will have, right?
And we are grateful to be your partners on the journey on the be, do, have order of things.
Moving forward with the Decker team.